Estamos en vivo.
Welcome to the episode number 2 of our Pleasure of Power week. I'm very happy to be with all of you tonight. Welcome, Fabian. Welcome, Mario. Welcome, Annapurna. I'm truly happy that you are here. Welcome to all Wolves and Mermaids in our audience. So today it's about talking how to change from numbness to power, and why you, why this, why now? Why must take action in all these things going around pleasure? So one of the topics is that escape from the pleasure trap, and be able to own our own sexual blueprint. That's where we are now, and this will be our second podcast. And we always start with a small meditation in order to ground ourselves. So I just want to put the point that today it's about how do we break this cycle of addictions, suppressions, and toxic power seeking in order to also, give a following of the topic that we were talking yesterday. Another thing is that how do we cultivate our sexual energy and how do we prevent it from draining? And the third part would be like how to reclaim our body desires and our personal energy shifts through the financial and relational success. I'm very excited for this topic, guys. Thank you for being here and putting your time and effort and focus to, we're masterminding, we're growing together. We are entrepreneurs, investors, business owners in the holistic realm that we walk the walk together. And we love to have a special guest in this podcast that will nourish our journey so that in order that we can, I believe that masterminds can help all of us thrive and ascend with the collective wisdom, with the experiences, with the knowledge that at the end transforms in pure wisdom. So thank you again. Welcome to everyone. And let's go to a beautiful meditation with Mario. Thank you, Mario.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do a very, very brief meditation and breathing exercises to connect. So let's close gently our eyes. Let's separate the back on the back of the seats, of the chairs. The shoulders a little bit towards the back to allow the free air flow. Let's place the feet flat on the floor and let's start breathing slowly and deeply. With each inhalation, holding 2-3 seconds is perfect. Breathe through the nose and exhale. And with the exhalation, bring relaxation to your body, to your mind, to your emotions. Continue at your own pace, inhaling, holding, and exhaling, liberating tension a little bit more, feeling your connection through your foot soles to the earth. And with your awareness and your intention and your focused attention, bring your gaze with closed eyes slightly, gently towards your third eye, which is the point between the eyebrows. And continue breathing slowly and deeply. And just feel the energy through your spine. And bring that relaxation also to that part of the body, especially to the rooted chakras in the perineum and the anus. Relax that part. This allows to flow more energy. And feel the free flow upwards when you inhale to the corona chakra, to the top of your head. And when you exhale, it comes back through the spine. And this energizes us. And this allows us to be more aware and present for this beautiful session. So now let's gently open our eyes and continue this sharing.
Thank you, Mario. Great. I love to meditate. Thank you. All right, let's start. So, as you know, these masterminds are promoted as word circles, right? So there is a chance for each of the speakers, of the guest speakers, and ourselves to answer a question. All right. So it's round questions. It will be 5 questions. The last one is just for our special guest, Fabian. And what? Okay. Yeah. So the idea is to crunch the answers between 2 and probably 3 minutes, but let's try to stick to 2 minutes, guys, because remember, this is like a TED Talk, all right? So the idea is to share everything about that question, but let's crunch it in order to, fix the hours. So yeah, and also it's very important to talk about the 5 Toltec agreements. So be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best and be skeptical, but learn to listen. And also, if anyone wants to ask something, please, you have the chat in the YouTube live, and we will be reading you. And also, again, yeah, so the idea of this mastermind is to gather collective wisdoms through the answers of our own experiences and our own journeys. So I just ask the permission to the guardians and the energies of this place to let us connect with our own hearts, to share our wisdom of our own experiences, and probably this could help us in our own journey, and probably could also help another wolves and mermaids that are looking also to ascend along the rawness and the storytelling about our experiences. So welcome again. So let's dip into the questions. Let's start by introducing ourselves, who we are and what we do. So we will start the rounds in the order that my Zoom presents. So first will be Fabian, second Mario, and then Annapurna, and at the end will be me, okay? So welcome, Fabian. If you can share with us who you are and what you do. Welcome, brother. Thank you for being here.
Well, at first, I'm now in this journey because a lot of process in my life. Beginning, I don't know how to start, but fast I can say that I was in a Catholic school with only men. Was in that school, and then I was working a lot with the spiritual. My family is not like a Catholic, heavy Catholic, but I like it to connect with the spiritual stuff of in that time with Catholic. So because I was looking for connect with something else out of me since I was 7, 10 or 10 years old. So, and then was so practicing a lot. And then I was looking for more. And then started to work with sacred plants, medicine plants. I was a teenager. I started with marijuana, but not exactly just to play with it. I was looking for more to integrate what was going on with me. And then I start to work with Hikuri Peyote since more than 25 years ago. Working at first alone with friends, going to the desert and spend the nights to take the medicine. But then I spent time, many years working with Maracames, the real culture, to have the knowledge about to use that plant and how to connect with that plant to get the knowledge, whatever. So, okay, that's good enough. And then I start to make a family. But then I knew Tantra. I knew Tantra first for a Spanish friend of mine that told me about it. And that was like, oh, it's amazing. But it was like Tantra at first time, or it's too much about sexuality, not ejaculation, empowerment, etc., etc. No? But I knew Tantra, and then I returned to medicine plants and ritualism. I worked a lot with temazcales. I lot a lot with fire, because fire is work masculine, our grandfather, the sun. All that power is the same. When you begin a fire just in a candle, you are making a reconnection, you are recreating the start of the stars, the burning of stars. That knowledge, you are connecting with just a candle. Well, then with a partner, with I went like 6 years to that time, we started to reconnect with Tantra. And then I connect with Tantra very deep, because I understand Tantra in a different way, not just like a sexual or a couple bubble or efficiency, like a person with efficiency in sexuality. And then I start to work with Tantra. That it's amazing, and that changed my life since 7, 8 years ago. That was a little bit of my journey for start.
Great, Fabian. Thank you. Very, very interesting journey, brother. Thank you for sharing, and welcome again. Mario, bienvenido.
Thank you. I am a man, a father, a 43-year-old man, acknowledging, realizing his awakening process. And in that process of awakening myself, right now, who is Mario, is a man who is realizing this and also helping people who is getting through this process of awakening consciousness. And into that, I am having a lot of fun, stepping into the process of doing things happen, also stepping out, raising the voice, opening the spaces for the people to share their own processes and experiences and knowledge, and deliver. I am delivering a message, a gift that has been given to me. That is my belief from the highest self. And I also helping the people to realize this and deliver their own messages and their gifts to the world to make a better reality, starting with myself. So this is who I am right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Welcome. Welcome, Annapurna.
Thank you. Namaste. I'm Annapurna. I'm from India, yeah, I have a strong connection to the coast of Oaxaca in Mexico since maybe about now 7 years ago. And yeah, what do? I sell Ayurvedic meals for backpackers mostly and digital nomads. I have a website that I help indigenous people to become financially independent by selling their products on annapurnamasunte.com. And I have my YouTube channel where I share, direct translation from Sanskrit about topics like Vedas, Ayurveda, yoga, and Tantra as well. So really happy to be here. And the reason I'm here in this meeting, again, like I said yesterday, I think the internet is currently dividing men and women and destroying families and also maybe even some part of ourselves. So I want to alleviate that pain. I'm here to have a different conversation to what's being had before. and to bring forth solutions, maybe from unexpected areas. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Annapurna. Welcome. All right. Well, I am Joseph. I consider myself as a wild soul wolf. I love to surf. I love to climb mountains, and now I am in the journey of building my legacy. Well, I spent years climbing the corporate world and being successful in a way in the business scene. I was also in a Catholic school, by the way. And yeah, I did big stuff on businesses. I led great negotiations. I did great businesses. I crafted amazing systems. And at the end, I felt a little bit empty. And I found out that it wasn't about money and success. And yeah, it was a good learning from that. Then years back, happened a road transformation in my life, a Ponzi fraud, bring me to my knees. And I became, from that point, a financial trauma coach. And I started to dig very deep on Toltec roots and Mayan heritage. And today, well, I love technology. I'm a computer systems engineer, and I weave alternative medicine, AI, crypto, and digital marketing into sustainable businesses. I'm also an investor in doTERRA since 2010. I have a global network of more than 15,000 global members, and this business is making me 6 figures a year. I'm also been doing, I'm investor in Bitcoin since 2018, and I'm running now a digital agency that crafts high ticket offers for holistic visionaries with AI since 2023. And well, I've also been journeying from different parts of Mexico, supporting some cool movements like Jornadas de Paz y Dignidad. I truly believe in originary tribes and the information they have through around pretty much sexual healing. And yeah, I think that I'm a promoter of that type of information. And as Mexican, I would love to preserve that kind of thing, and mostly here in Puerto Escondido. And well, within Wolves Mermaids, I am one of the founders, and I am in this journey of fusioning making a combination of sexual energy healing with cutting edge business, and also bringing together communities to build a new type of real estate. And yeah, I'm in this journey. I want to be a master in sexual energy. I want to be a master in business. I want to be a master in community building. And that's why I'm gathering with people like you to build this together. So thank you and welcome everybody again. That is Jose. Okay, so let's dive into our first topic. Okay, just let me see if I had the, yeah, okay. Great, let's talk about, all right. Oh, wait, I lost my script. Yeah, we're talking about from numbness to power. Like, I really feel like I was very numb in my past, going through with excitement to the wrong direction, saying it far away. So I think it's very important for us how to understand how to break these important cycles in our lives. It could be addiction. We talk about addiction to porn yesterday, addiction to toxic relationships. So the first question would be like how to break these cycles of addiction, suppression, and toxic pleasure seeking. That would be the first question. So welcome, Fabian.
Thank you. Well, this is a very big topic. At first, I would like to say that we used to get controlled by our cultural way of life, by our social way of life, that indicate us how to react, how to do, how to act with whatever stimulus that we have. No? And I always saying that there's something very important. That's the instant stimulation that we look for it. Constantly, when we are not feeling good, we used to look something else outside of us to take that stimulus to get us better and to feel us right. Whatever it is, it could be like a Coke, coffee, Netflix, chocolate, drugs, whatever kind of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, ta, 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 ta. We are always trying to get outside of us what the things that we can not bring us by ourselves. That is very what that's important is one of the main issues. That's why that's because we are not enough with ourselves, and it's because the culture and the sociality says that we can get enough by ourselves and we can get enough by buying to get the best dress and to go to the best restaurant to go get out with the best girl, you know, and in the same time in the mankind there's a lot of troubles at the same time, no? with that masculine way of thinking, patriarchally. Oh, how many girls that you have sex, how many money you are getting now. That's we are always not enough with ourselves. That's the best point to start. That's why I think we are the four of us and more. We are looking for restart that part of us that the society and the cultural stuff get out of us. That just we have to remind what we have, what we are, to get enough with ourselves, and then we start looking for experiences. But at the same time, there's journeys that bring no security by to grow with ourselves. In this case, I work with Tantra because Tantra gives us the connection with ourselves to start that part.
Great, amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mario, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. My point of view is that these things that you have expressed, Fabian, this anxiety, I see it in a spiritual way as a ego being confronted with itself to the point of explosion and dissolveness or self-destruction. And I will explain it a little bit further. Because this anxiety, I think it's a need for awaken to our true selves, and the only way to do it that we know for as humans, as we are very, I don't know, like animal instincts very developed, is through pain and through strong awakenings, no, as diseases. And when this moment comes to the point of awakening, is really overwhelming. The struggles, everything shake us to the core of our beings. As confronting as it is, the ego tries to distract itself and to run away from that inevitable moment that inevitably comes when we die physically. But there is another way also to embrace and recognize and confront this event. We can do it in a softer way, with more loving way and a more conscious way. This is where all the consciousness and techniques and all the tools that we are developing and sharing right now, suitable for each one of us, because there are many ways in which somebody lives his or her own process. Might be strong. Normally, Buddha seated 40 days. Jesus had to die and then come alive again. And, these kind of things that I know and I believe that we are able to do, but many people, the majority of people, live it through pain or through physical death. And now is the time, if we are realizing and running away from this anxiety and lighting another cigarette and feeling this, this is the moment that is coming for you, the time that this is it. And the more we feel it, the closer the moment comes for this event. Okay, so I will leave it. I will leave this here.
Thank you, Mario. It's amazing. I love all the topics. Thank you for sharing. Welcome, Annapurna.
Thank you. I want to mention we all here maybe went to Catholic school, I think. Mario, you also?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to know about the name of the schools, but we will say it later.
Okay. All right.
Right
I
at
start
it.
my timer. Okay. The reason I started with that is because it's for me. It's again, it's coming back to from yesterday's podcast about freedom, the need for personal freedom, personal power, personal agency, and then for some reason the world says no. Or when you're a child, I mean, Catholic school, the way it is in Mumbai and Mexico City, I can understand. You know, they tell you you're just wrong. You're wrong. Your desires are wrong. Everything is wrong. But then apart from that, I grew up, you know, I always like to joke that India is Mexico 100 years in the past. I think it's one of the Mexican exchange students who came to India that we were talking and we came to that conclusion. So, you know, again, like women and children are already kind of a liability when you're born, and children must be seen and not heard. Women must be not even seen, don't even be seen and don't even be heard. So it was like a complex, a mix of this for me. And I guess what I'm arriving at is that in some way, shape, or form, our modern society provides us with a sort of a psychological prison that we're born into and expected to conform. And as a child, the needs of approval and love are unmet. And to meet them, we end up conforming. And that's what I think becomes addiction in adulthood. And for me, empathy, again, like I said yesterday, empathy has been my saving grace and understanding. Understanding the reason behind why I do something makes me kind of not want to do it anymore. It takes the power away and brings it back to me. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect. I shared yesterday, I still engage in what I call these surrogate activities. It's a borrowed term, like watching videos, like you mentioned, Fabian, Netflix. Uh, yeah, so understanding can free one from the cycle, and it's caused because of this trauma that we experience in childhood. So thank you.
Thank you all. That's very interesting. I really appreciate your trueness and rawness and how these start to blend into actual knowledge, because all that you say I relate, and I also some things that they're new for me. So that's also the goal about this. You know, when we share for all the people that is listening and also for us, it's like you're listening from our raw stories, from who we are. Take what serves you, throw what doesn't, and yeah, right. Great. So for me, let me put my chronometer. Okay, yeah. For me, I think it was finding that I was addicted to porn. How? Well, I started to feel eruptions in my body, like passing from eternal erections to no erections, and it was like, what? Um, Reduced satisfaction, you know, escalation to tolerance to porn. That thing what you said about anxiety, but also like the performance anxiety, right? This emotional disconnection, a lot of depression. So all these secondary effects for me was like, oh my God, what's happening to me? So I found that I was addicted to porn. I couldn't leave it. I was just scaling. And then I found this book of Gary Wilson that's it's called Your Brain on Porn, and I started to understand, like, oh my God, yeah, this is it. This is why I have this patterns of failing with myself, with my relationships. So yeah, I think for me, how I break the cycle. Well, first understanding that I was addicted to porn. Then yeah, related to what Fabian said, stop asking, waiting. Yeah, like bringing external stuff to myself to just be happy, right? And also I found this amazing exercise that is called the six healing sounds. I found it with Jonathan White, another amazing mentor that I found, and I started his training about multi-orgasmic man. And there's a lot of frameworks, but the one that I love it was it's called six healing sounds, and pretty much is doing different type of sounds and movements with the body that help release trauma, that help release addiction, the cravings, and all that things that trigger. You know, this and I think interesting is that a lot of men has this trigger of her fathers or yeah, her fathers closing the door, feeling they are alone in their house, and then they start to masturbate and see porn. And this type of paths, and it's very difficult to break, but I do it through Tao. I think also Tantra, but a little bit, and also gathering in masterminds to share about this information. So thank you. Okay, great. Okay, let's move. This is very important because sometimes breaking these type of paths without understanding, right? It could be very easy to think these type of things, but we are people that we have worked this stuff, right? We have the problem, we dive deep. So if someone that is listening is something is a little bit new for you, we understand, and we believe we want to make it easier, but we know that there's a path, and it's a beautiful path. That's why we also do this type of circles to promote this type of sharings and also healings. All right, let's go to question number 2. So how do you cultivate your sexual energy, and how do you prevent it from draining? This is very good. Welcome, Fabian.
Well, I'm still learning about my sexual energy. My vital energy from the first center of energy chakra. I don't like to say chakras. I like to mean it like energetical center. Well, how do I feel my sexual energy? Because there's an impulse that moves me to know that the void has to, my void don't has to be full immediately. My void has to be full slowly with my own energy. At first, my sexual energy, my vital energy that I have. So that's why I start to work with myself.
Void with V, right? Void, like vacío.
Vacío.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I feel a void inside me, I look for instant something else external, like porn, like drinking, whatever, alcohol, tobacco. Tobacco in cigarro, no tobacco in the secret way. So when I feel void, in that void in myself, I have to feel it, but not immediately, because it's a process. I have to get the knowledge to have a void inside of me at first. Why I have a feeling of voidness or a void is because something happened. And the void is good because it's a master. The void is a knowledge, like the darkness, like the dark side of us. Then when you feel at the same time, you can feel dark emotions or heavy emotions, and then you can get stuck in that, or just flow with that and then leave it. That's the same when I feel my void. So the sexual energy, I have to protect it because it's my energy to fulfill me wherever or when I want to fulfill something. I don't need something outside of me if I have the energy to fulfill me. And I'm saying not immediately. It's a process. When I have a void, we have to understand that void, feel that void, and then fulfill it, but with my own process, with my own energy, with my own knowledge. So I feel that the sexual energy is more than that. Sexual energy is in Tantra, well, for saying that, we use that energy to empower ourselves. When you get that power and you get that feeling of being powered by yourself, by your own energy, you can do whatever you do, whatever you want to do. Business, to project, to create, to do whatever. Well, like men aspect or masculine aspect, we can fulfill that with that energy. And with feminine aspect, we can también, at the same time, we can use that energy to empower our intuition, to empower our love, to empower the way that the nutrition, at first, I have to nourish myself first, and then nourish my relationship, my general relation, and all the world. If you are not empowered by yourself, you cannot do something else for someone else. That then in airplane says, first put your mask on and then put the mask on the other guy. First help you, and then if you are helping yourself, you can help the others. That's why at first we have to look first for us, not an ego way of thinking, or a personal way of thinking. Because if you are not completely empowered, you can help others or practice whatever thing with others, or project with others, or project with the world. First, we work with our energy to activate, potentialate it, and then distribute it in ourselves to then bring us to outside. I don't know if it was exactly what you was asking for.
Yeah, that was amazing, Fabian. Thank you so much for sharing. It's getting more interesting. Adelante, Mario.
Yeah, it is. And I feel the sexual energy is really, really amazing. I believe it also is sort of everything. It's what empowers us, is that triggers us. And to me, the techniques or the tools that I have found, first is observing, also observing myself through my different facets of the prism, also my ego. And before, well, when I realized I was, I don't know, far beyond sexual pleasure and everything else, no? What you mentioned, the senses are, wow, really distractors. And breathing, observing, gives me the moment to stop that process, and just breathing again, and gives me stability to realize what is going on with my body. And then, of course, letting it pass, not going through that emotion, is sort of also molding, forming my will. And I feel good when my will is strength, and I feel bad when my will is destroyed, defeated. So I like more to feel good, and then my will strengthens, and then I say, not this time. I will not go for this sexual pleasure, porn, looking at porn, or whatever. Going for a chocolate, or having a cigarette, or alcohol. And in my process, I have been getting rid of many of this stuff, which gives me more energy. And I love to feel that energy, to cultivate this energy, to create, as you have mentioned, to put it in myself, to have more health, to have more energy to go out and do exercise, and not feel drained, and feel sad, and feel guilty, and feel annoyed, and not wanting to do anything. So I could say for this moment that those tools have helped me a lot, and I'm also eager to go for more knowledge and sharing in community for all that it is there to help me to that process, to continue enriching my energy and put it in the service of whatever is coming, which also for me is a surprise.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. So, thank you guys. So oh shoot, sorry. Let me put my time. The one of the framework is to understand, and this is going to be going a little bit into Tantra. I hope Fabian doesn't mind, but you can see the screen, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to get at, and then there is that void. Incidentally, you guys are talking about the void.
Yeah.
And it should say ocean of feeling. It's like just kind of like being in the waves of the feelings and trying to satisfy the feelings. So this really helped me. So the Shakti in Sanskrit means universal life force energy. So everything is Shakti, and Shakti is female. She is a goddess, and Tantra is a study of the goddess, but it's also a conversation between God and goddess. That's the entirety of Tantra, where she wants to become Shakti wants to become like Shiva. So he's giving her away, but then there's also a study of the 10 forms of Shakti, or the goddess, right? So she's everything. Shakti is everything. And the reason I'm mentioning Shakti, it is akin to Chi, but I don't think it's right to call it the same thing. But that Shakti is concentrated at the base of the chakra system as Kundalini Shakti, and that is our sexual energy. And it's coiled at the base of the spine. And as we become more empowered, we start to automatically, not artificially, like force an awakening, but automatically start to uncoil it. But Kundalini Shakti always flows. So this flow of yellow to blue, that's the flow of it naturally. But the coiled energy, I believe, is supposed to move in a serpentine fashion above the spine. Anyway, for me, understanding that this is the source of who I am, it helped me to not devalue. And it's like, just want to finish with this. It's like going to Las Vegas 2 times. Maybe first time you go, you're drunk off your ass and you enjoy it, and everything seems great and awesome, and all the colors and the lights are very flashy, and they get your attention and they get your money. Maybe you return sober 5 years later, and it all looks, you smell, it smells dirty, it smells of urine and alcohol. You think everyone's trying to scheme you. It's a hellscape, and it's trashy, and you realize it's almost like a prostitute, like trying to get your attention. So it helps to desensitize you to these overstimuli that I think we're all subjected to, not just through pornography, but also through movies and media. So that's where I'll end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your bell, your chronometer. All right. So for me, I think it's walking the walk, understanding what is sexual energy. What was the concept behind it was sacred, because I believe I started to understand that it was an energy that moved me. I had experience with one of an amazing woman where I started to work my sexual energy with her, and I feel this experience of have an orgasm without ejaculation. And oh my God, it was the first time I feel that with that energy I could build a pyramid, or more. And yeah, I think that understanding what it is from not from the judgments of society that we say yesterday, like all these ancestral things that are in sexuality, that this imagine also in a Catholic school, what do they teach you there? So it is crazy. And yeah, I think also by doing this breathing, I love the concept behind the dragon breathing. I am a beginner on Tantra and Tao practices, but I've been doing it for a couple of years, 4 years. And I found that this dragon breathing meditation, where actually Mario gives us a little bit at the beginning, it's about connecting and grounding with the earth, and then relaxing my perineal, because being addicted to porn is like you have your perineal like all the time. And that was a huge part of my journey to heal. And also I cultivated like that. I cultivated with sometimes I don't have sex. I use the sacred secretion framework. If you don't know this, it's like 1 time a month you can do some exercises, and it's a very interesting. I'm also adding the Maya Quiche calendar. So in some times of the year, I stop myself from stimulation, from digital stimulation, to stop everything, to start cultivating, right? And I think also discipline. I want to end with that. And discipline is because I believe that in sexual energy, if you are not disciplined, you can pay the price of discipline or pay the price of regret. So thank you. All right. Wow, it's very interesting. I want to thank you for all your answers. It's really amazing how all your paths and comments and your points of views are really probably something different or something also very related with my own journey, but I learned a lot of your shares. I love the concept about the void, and I also think that in this matter of sexual energy, we have to put ourselves first in order to understand it, heal it, transcend it, and then be able to actually share it with someone else. So yeah, put the mask first. I love that. All right, so fourth question, fourth round. All right, so we talk about reclaiming the pleasure, reclaiming the power. How do we come back from these crazy stories? Because we all live it, right? It's like sexual thing in our journeys. It's been or traumatic or not fulfilled or in the shadows or whatever. So how does reclaiming this energy, your body, your desires, your personal energy could potentially shift your financial and your relational success? Uh,
Well,
Hola.
Good question.
Do you want? Okay.
Okay, my turn. Thank you. So, at first, we have to understand that the word pleasure, we have put it in just sexual act or something else like the emotion when you are drinking, the emotion when you are winning something. But pleasure, we can get pleasure in every act of our lives. In every little moments, we can get a lot of pleasure, but we have not the knowledge to that kind of things are pleasurable too. Like to smell a flower, okay, it's a simple way of thinking. To smell a flower, to look a beautiful sky in the evening, the mountains, or to feel empowered because you feel good with your child. There's pressure every time in our lives, but we used to not get the word of pleasure of that things. So that's why, because we are always looking for pleasure, that the pleasure that is not the real meaning. I don't know if I can understand. So when you are empowered and when you are doing your practice, when you are reading, when you are eating good, when you are exercising yourself, when you are sleeping good, smiling, and doing all the things that bring you pleasure, that empower you, it's difficult to get a good business, to get a good relationship, to get a good whatever connection with someone else, even connection with ourselves. So at first, we have to understand that pleasure is an issue that depends on ourselves, not depends of others, not depends of the outsides. And then when you empower, when you are doing, I'm gonna explain you fastly an example. When I love to wake up early in the morning, but I love at the same time sleep the more time in the bed. But when I wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning, I do my practice or make me a tea and putting me to study, to read, to yoga practice or tantric practice in the morning, and then start to have a breakfast, good breakfast for me, what I feel that it served to me, and then that way of thinking or of power, it's empowering to me because I start to feel inside me that I am a power man, and then start to project that power outside of me, to project outside my business, to project outside my clients, to project out myself to others, and the people see you with a sparkling eyes, with a nice smile, and that's okay. But at the same time, you are growing up, you are evolutioning in a fast way when you connect with yourself. when you there, and that's at the same time pass with me, when I it suddenly get a drinking and then start to waking up not early and stop my practices, my vibration is going down. And then I project that vibration, my economy, my financial stuff is getting different when I am powered. So it's very important to understand, even it's important, at the same time with working with sexual energy. It's important to get to get ourselves in a better way that we has to get more empowered. I don't know exactly, because everything is good, but you have to do it with conscious. If you I'm gonna get drunk tonight, okay, it's good, but you have to get conscious that you are getting wrong, and that has consequences physically, energetically, sociality, whatever. Okay, you got to get, for example. So for to finish my speaking, you have to do what the best things makes you feel empowered.
Yeah.
Working with yourself, working with your energy, and then that empowering is gonna make you project the best that you are to outside and your relations to the people, your clients, to all outside. But if you are not empowered by yourself, outside is gonna be the same. You're gonna connect with non-empowered people, with non-empowered financials. So the best thing, or the first is to empower yourself, doing the things that empowering you with your own sexual energy or with your own creative energy, to then be with you and then project that to others and feel good with yourself and feel good with others, and the others is gonna feel good with you. I don't know. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. Welcome, Mario.
Yeah, I think we are very, very, very blessed. And in my case, I am aware that I have exceeded how blessing I am in my capacities, in my physical capacities, because as spiritual beings, we want everything, and I know I am everything. And this in this body, it is not possible to have it. And that's why I believe we are so blessed, and we have a lot of opportunities to have more knowledge, to apply it to the self-love. Is also, this is a huge factor for this process that we are sharing through erotic intelligence. And as I love myself more, of course, that is what I vibrate, and that is what I attract, and that is what I expand, and that in that tune is how I manifest my reality. So it is about also energy. So the longer I cultivate this energy, and also this creativity also, no, because it's like changing the triggers, changing the train that is what's going through one way, and we know the consequences, and I say I don't want no more, and I need help. Sometimes we can ask for help, and help will come, but when we change paths, then we are going to something else. And putting the creativity there, as Fabian mentioned, we have a lot of things to give pleasure from. It's not just from the senses or the intensity that we have. We want everything in instant gratification. But what about smelling a flower, sharing somebody, focusing on all this attention, in giving a longer hug, looking somebody to its eyes. This increase of energy allows us to enjoy more. And I want to end this participation also to the pleasure that gives me realizing that in my truth, God does exist, and gives me a lot of pleasure doing my practice, and then cultivate this and finding those very subtle moments in my yoga practice and in my meditation when I realize this, and there is a moment of pure gratitude and highest pleasure, then I can have what the surprises gives me, as is my financial independence and all the projects that I am creating. And I know it's this way.
Thank you, Mario. Amazing, man. Thank you. Adelante, Ana.
Thank you. So I agree that, daily practice is essential. Eating healthy is essential. These are foundational things that everybody should or could benefit from doing. But we need the motivation to get there. And that's where empathy and understanding and compassion have come in handy for me. So once you do this, I think a lot of people lack the motivation. Like, why should I exercise? Why should I cook at home? Why should I eat healthy? Because it will shift your personal energy, financial and relational success. What I'm just gonna, mirror what Mario and Yusuf and Fabian have said in my own way, because it truly, it's like, if we don't have that routine and you don't have that one point or a few points in the day or a tool that can take you out of the madness, Maya, right? That can take you outside of the Maya and back to what in the Vedas is called the soul, Atman, or who you truly are, and what's real and what's not real. Then things like, you're not frugal with your spending. So when we're not frugal with our spending, we're not frugal with the sexual energy, it's easy to kind of fall into carnal traps. It's easy to go click on that free website where you can get, overstimulated. It's easy to order Uber Eats or whatever equivalent. So oftentimes, like, the motivation needs to come from, like, I have to do this because if not, I'll fall apart or I'll go insane or, I will become diseased. So we sadly, we're in a world that wants to take us away from who we really are. But we have to do everything to come back to that state at least a few times a day, and you have to serve yourself. There's no excuse for or substitute for discipline.
Thank you so much, Ana. All right, me, I think
I wanted to add one thing I forgot.
yeah.
Please permit me. I wanted to say that if we lie in one area of our lives, we end up lying in other areas, and we let other people lie to us. So we don't just take advantage of others. You might think you had a one-night stand and you took advantage of someone, but you just stand in line. Maybe it's karma, maybe it's not, but you just come on standing in line to be taken advantage of another time down the line, because like attracts like. So that's what I wanted to say. That's why it's so important.
Thank you. Thank you so much for adding that. All right, for me, I think it's everything, because when I reclaim my power and I want to tell a story, is I turn everything into clarity, right? So I start to embrace my healing, my confidence, I start to deepen my relationships. And this happened a few years ago. Mario, you were there when we started to do the surf camps in Chacagua, and then these amazing holistic events in Tulum, and, going all over Mexico, driving. And, I think it was about 5 key points that I want to share, and it's all related to what I was already said. So it's about acknowledging the disconnection, admitted that I was just out of my body and my head in desires, right? Point number 2 will be this daily body awareness, like starting to do yoga, meditation, all this mindful breathing, and reconnecting with this part of my physical part, right? Then starting to this concept that we say, this erotic concept, erotic intelligence, erotic energy. So I started to practice, from mentors, Jonathan White, Deepak Chopra, and other sexual mentors to start igniting this creativity inside of me. And another key point to do it, it was like transforming my mindset, because I was wrong about porn. I was wrong about relationships. I was wrong about my body. I was I was very wrong. I was going with a lot of enthusiasm to the incorrect place. So it was transforming my mindset, you know. It was about saying, okay, it doesn't matter that you went through this. Probably you will be talking about later in a mastermind, or probably guiding others, you know, to get out of that shit. And it was transforming my mindset into a start to journaling and reflection about all the things that I wanted to transform with this energy, right? And then point number 5 was just aligning with my goals and with my desires, to set some clear intentions on what who I wanted to become after this addiction. And at the end, it was just also consistent practices, exercise and hormesis, like cold and hot. And yeah, also trying to deepen my relationships and try to be more open about this, because no one talks about this. And that's why I love this type of masterminds, the way I love to have you here, because listening to you and also being able to express in a space where I'm not being judged. Yeah, sometimes this is all I'm looking in my journey to make a better to take better decisions. So yeah, that would be it. All right. So we just end up the rounds and we go to the last stage. Okay, so we shared a little bit about yeah, that how do we heal and cultivate the energy. We also talk about how to break cycles of addiction, suppression, or toxic relationships, and how do we reclaim how reclaiming our body and desires and personal energy can be a real change in our financial and relational success. Okay, so the last part for ourselves and also for the people outside is that we have to create a vital map, that I call. It is a map that it's very powerful in my journey, being around masterminds for the last 15 years, facilitating masterminds for the last 20 years. This is the most important part of everything. Because actually, thanks to a vital map that I hear from another mastermind, I ended up doing masterminds like this. So there's a big chance, if the audience is hearing us and you can relate with the topics, it's very, very common or useful that we craft a plan for our own journeys, and this could probably resonate with yours, and I hope that this does. So it is very simple. The vital map, it's about, you have to share some brief insights about all the topics that we share, brief insights, and then we do a map. So a map, it's about a current position, where you are now in the topic that we share. What are your aspirations in that topic, like your goals? Where are you heading probably next year or in 5 years? Then is, what do you need to accomplish those goals? What does inspire you to, what is your big dream behind it? Because we know when times are tough, we need to hold on to something greater, right? To just jumping out of the bed in the morning. And at the end is the action steps. All right. So this is this is something that it has a lot of value. I hope that you receive it like this. And yeah, please, if you have any questions about this, let me know. And if we don't, please, let's close with the vital map. So go ahead.
Well, very good question. So at first, there's a lot of tools. You can go to the church, you can go to the psychiatric stuff, you can go with a psychologist stuff, you can go with medicine plans, we can go whatever to understand what is happening with ourselves. But all that external, I'm talking about the external and internal again. All the external stuff, that's not gonna be enough if you do not open yourself to understand yourself at first. Okay, you have to open your belly, your heart, to understand what is happening with you at first. Okay, I need to go with a doctor or with a psychiatric or whatever, or with go to retreats to meditate or whatever. Okay, that's good. That's all tools. They go to do tantra, yoga, whatever. That's a very good tools. But at first, you have to open yourself to your own knowledge to see what inside of you. That's a that's a very complex process because all the time we're thinking that we are fucked up or we are we can do more for ourselves. But see, always, all the day or all the next breathing, you can change your life in the next breathing, in the next inhalation. So first is get a knowledge about yourself, and then if you need help, look for the good help that thing to can help you. There's a lot of tools. Tantra, it's a good tool because Tantra shows you exactly what you are, or like plants, medicine plants, master plants that show you what you are, but you have the knowledge to know what you are and what you have to act or react about that you are now. When you work with external things, plants or philosophies or religions, you are working with something outside that it's good enough too. But that's a very good tool. More simple tool is to open your heart to understand yourself and look for you what you are. And then it's not easy. I know that it's not easy, but if you can do it by yourself with a little support, outside support, it's gonna be a good way to process you and then to grow up and then to start a good process for yourself. So very simple is do what the things that you feel good for you. I don't know if I can do do the things that it's better for you to feel better alone, not external. So Tantra is a good way because the knowledge is inside you. Tantra just opens you to get the knowledge that it's inside you, almost. Yet it's inside you, that knowledge. We have the knowledge inside, but we don't understand that knowledge because we ourselves close that knowledge for us and look outside the knowledge that almost we have inside. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Great. I love it, brother. And just to, we would love to know, like, in your own journey, like, what would be, because for sure you haven't reached a level in whatever you are doing, but what is your current status? Where are you going, man? What do you think you need to be there, and what moves you to do it?
What moves that to me is because when I think, when I put my energy in that way,
Okay.
I feel in a very, very power inside me that I feel God, you know? I feel like God because it's too much, so satisfying that it's enough for me. I don't need more. But that's when I connect the things that I know that I have to connect because I put my body and my energy to be just a channel to connect with the divine, you know, with my purpose. When you connect with your purpose in life, you only are a channel, and when you connect with that channel, it's very simple, very easy to do whatever you want because you are just a channel that just let the life, the Shakti, pass through you. If you put an obstacle or put a rock in that process of channeling, the Shakti process, then the Shakti is not going to pass through you. It's going to give you a round around you, you know? And then the life is not passing through your body. The life is not passing through your experience. The Shakti, that energy of life energy, is not going to pass through you because you are intentionally obstructing that channel. So when you are good, when you are open, when you let that energy pass through you, the life is going to pass through you. The purpose of the life, that you are part of it, is going to pass through you, and then it's going to be joy inside you. It's going to be completely emptiness and void, but at the same time, you're going to feel full of that energy. So that's very important to let that energy pass through you, to be channeling. And if you are in the best of you, that was always is like mentioning all the time. If you do the best for you, the life is gonna pass through you. It's not just life, the universal life, the Shakti, the life force. So it sounds easy, but you have to make practice to liberate all that package that you have that don't serve to you and don't serve even you, don't serve to the life force, the purpose of the life, of the energy, the universal energy. That's very important to have a respect that you are not working for you, you are working for the way of life, the life for itself. You are a purpose, you have a purpose here to be a part of that universal energy. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I understand. I think for some of us, this concept of aligning at that level with Tantra can be challenging, but it's very interesting to understand that from your realm, that it's more about, so what I understand is that you don't make any plans. You don't make plans at all. You just connect with the energy, and because I want to understand, because it's very interesting to try to understand at my level, how do you manage to craft these plans at energetic level without, understanding. I mean, for me, it's very disruptive, and probably that's my journey where I want to go, to develop these Tantra levels where I am able to not just creating maps like, okay, where am I, where am I going to go, what am I going to do, that for me are super effective. And this is very interesting, man. So thank you. So I just want to understand that. So in your journey as a Tantra master, so at this point, you just don't manage to do plans or maps. It's more about your power, and then you just flow it through there. I want to understand it more, and sorry if I take more time to ask you this, but I find it very interesting.
Well, it's to connect with as Sana says, to connect with life force, Shakti force, and feel and understand that we are just a channel. And when you are working with Tantra, you don't have to have an expectation. You have to flow with what is happening in that moment. At the same time, in the ritualism and shamanism, the shamanic way of working is to not to be the magic by itself, by ourselves, is to connect the energy that is going on in that moment, in that space, in that time. When you are open to understand that, you can let the flow of that energy when you are around with people at the same time in retreats with Tantra, retreats or workshop with Tantra. You have to understand how is the energy is moving on to make the process the principal process that let that energy flow more easily. At the same time, with shamanism, the Maracambes is always feeling that what is happening around the ceremony with the external, with the elements, with the elementary stuff, what is happening in that energy to bring us in that experience inside of us, in that circle, to bring us the best knowledge of the moment. And in the shamanic process, the shaman is putting the energy of the information of that energy to the people that is working on it. At the same time, with a Tantra workshop or retreats, you are working with people. But at the same time, it's the same with you, with your own. You can understand what is happening around you, what energies is happening around you, elementary stuffs, and then what can you do to let pass the dark energies or the heavy energies or the good energies of the primal or crystal energies. I don't know how to say it, but you have to stand and in a conscious all the time in awareness. I mean, you have to be in awareness, in heavy awareness or in relaxed awareness, but in awareness all the time to connect with that. If you are numb, when you are drunk, when you are drugged, or when you are in other stuff in low vibrations, you cannot connect with that and you cannot be part of channeling that energies. I don't know, but it's not a mental process, it's a feeling process, intuitive process, in conscious and awareness process, not mental, not structural process.
I got it. I got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very interesting. Adelante, Mario.
Yeah, thank you, Fabian. Yeah, to me, where I am, I feel starting a new path in my life, a path of healing and a path of happiness and joy and presence. So what I am doing at my moment is what I am doing now, sharing with you and bringing all my tribe. It's like recognizing, meeting again my family that I know we have met before in another planes or times or wherever, and I have had this feeling that I know you from before. I don't know, you have it when you look at somebody and then you say, oh, I know you, I don't know from where, maybe it's not in this life, no? So I feel I am in that point, rejoining with my family, starting this new path, walking together, starting to listen more, to talk and speak less. I'm bringing my awareness more and more while I breathe, integrating more processes, inspiring me from nature. Nature has always been present to me, and it's another blessing for me. And it started when I realized how big contamination as a teenager I was creating with my fellows in La Salle, my Catholic school in Mexico City, and starting to realize I am repeating something just for that I supposed to do this. So I am really disrupting, and I will continue to be disruptive. So disruptiveness is another tool for me that it helps me questioning to myself in my own conversations that I'm having are getting me to that goal that I want. And this goal that I want is to feel this pleasure for life all the time, and the pleasure that gives me, not takes from me. So I know I can connect to this kind of pleasure that is perhaps beyond my senses. And I have mentioned it before, this presence of enjoying what I have, and not wanting to have everything, but that is enjoying the small pieces that I have. And if it is an ice cream, it's enjoying that ice cream. And if it's a hug, enjoying that hug. And it's making love with somebody, is going to be enjoying the moments by moments.
Yeah, totally.
And yoga helps me a lot. Meditation is helping me a lot. It's helping me a lot. Breathing, communication with my family, also healing my process in my relationships, saying I'm sorry, and also applying Ho'oponopono. No? I'm just mentioning a few, but in these few moments, that is where I want to close this sharing. Ho'oponopono with everything I can, acknowledging my third eye, feeling the pressure that through this portal, and this portal integrates all the root, the energetic points in my body, and I expand the love that I have to share, and then I nurture from, all this. So it's the fun of it. Ho'oponopono is thank you, I'm sorry if I have done lots of shared in the past, but I'm sorry for that, and I feel gratitude for that, and I love me, myself, and I love all.
Oh, thank you, Mario. Welcome, Ana.
Thank you. Thank you. So just going off of yesterday, a challenge that I have currently is sort of wasting my time a little bit on YouTube, watching podcasts that are completely horrible, like the whatever podcast or just, bad stuff, stuff that demoralizes me. And I mentioned that it gave me a fear also of bringing children into the world. I acknowledged that, and I thought about it a lot, and I have a deeper sense that I'm afraid to create, and that's why I'm terrified to create on some level, and that's why I waste my energy for a few hours a day, I guess, I waste my energy. And I was reflecting on this method of self-sabotage. Maybe it's subtle, but I really don't think it's subtle. I think many people, we are addicted to some form of mass media. And I realized, what am I afraid to create? I'm afraid to teach yoga again. And that's what I would like to do. And I always like to be in Mexico, always teaching in Mexico, not in United States for some reason, So I just had this, I had this small desire come up today morning when I was reflecting on that. And that's my aspiration. How am I going to get there? Well, I have some money put away. But it's a fear to put a gas pedal on, and that's something I want to confront, and I started to open myself to think about it and to embrace that, and maybe fail at it. Who knows, but just to embrace it would be enough for me. So I think I answered all the questions on that. So what actions, introspection and doing more yoga, and maybe I will get confident enough to start just teaching, I remember when there was no problem for me, and I would just be in my apartment, one room, small room, and teaching. But somehow I'm mortified. So I would like to have more introspection, but I also know, I have to do it. If I'm scared, I have to do it. That's what I have to do. So it's a deepening of my vision of where I want to go to from these podcasts for me. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. This is amazing. All your journeys and points of views really nurture this talk. And I feel the knowledge going into my head, and I started to understand more about this serve me and how can also serve our audience. Well, okay, so for me, let me put my chronometer. All right, so brief insights from this, I think, is just being numb in the sexual energy realm. It could be very expensive if you don't understand what it is. And if you probably have your bank account in zero, you don't have community, or you're sick, probably you're draining your sexual energy. And it's very important to put focus on it. And for me, I mean, this phrase hit me. It's like, for me, hope was not a strategy. I needed to find the tactics, the step-by-steps, the mentors, the guidance, because that's, for me, what is to create a map in my own journeys, is that I know that I've reached many levels of success, many levels of failure, but my current status, where am I now, is like, I don't want to be numb anymore. I know that I'm numb anymore about relation in the relation to sexual energy. I'm not numb anymore, but I know that I have to work it more. So I'm vibing my mermaid, right? My couple, my partner in crime, in order to be able, for me, and this is my path, I feel complimented when I can nurture and build this energy with a woman. My highest success in life or happiness or in the whatever, I found it out that I accomplished it with a woman by my side. Probably a lot of men don't relate with this, but for me it was. And yeah, it was the dreaming, the love, the all that part that I really like about relationships. So that's where am I. I know that I have to work it more, and yeah, keep vibing and keep doing this type of events and keep gathering with more like-minded people. So where I want to go, for sure, I want to get into the level of master in sexuality, and I would love to understand tantra at this level in order to be able to make this make a better maps or make a better execution to my own journey. Because I also, for me at least, when I found that I wasn't caring about my money and my relationships, probably I wasn't caring also about my health. And yeah, that also hit me. So I want to be more connected with the energy part of the energy part of all this, not just the physical part and the tactics, but also the cosmic part. And that's where I am. I'm trying to do it. So what do I need there to be there? I think it's just more discipline. Surround me with more people like you know, to be accountable, because sometimes I speak about this in other circles and it's like, man, this guy's a hippie, you know, why are you talking about this shit? You know, some people find it like offensive, you know, to just say the word sex is like, oh shit, you know, I can hear about this. So more discipline and more community. And yeah, how do I inspire myself? It's very simple. I think I just want to serve more in this topic. I want to save some time for probably myself in the 20s or in the 17s, and like my mentors have done with me. I think I crunch a lot of time just being guided by people that was on where I wanted to be, but also that was you know, through my path. So yeah, I want to serve more. And as I said yesterday, I don't want to lose the control of my sexual energy again, because it's very simple to lose it. It's very simple to get into old habits, to see porn with all this digital stimulation. Oh my God, if I wasn't a technology engineer and understand how to block porn from everywhere, probably I would be again in that. So I understand that part, and that's also part of my inspirations to move forward. And what are my action steps? Pretty much is, I think, just being in student mode. Today, for me, was more about being in student mode, and also understand that I am a master, also in some level, but it's just about my journey and my experiences and my step-by-steps, and what did I do in order to be here with you, just talking from this, right? So it's every day cultivating the energy and apply it in stuff like this, like creating stuff, creating masterminds, creating things that for me can empower community and myself. And yeah, I think that also my dreams are very and I really want to cultivate this thing, because I believe sexual energy is how we come here, and I believe that we are great as human beings. We're super powerful. And yeah, also that, like creating magic events with people to promote my own healing and the healing of others, to promote that people has more money and more business in the holistic world, and also to build holistic communities around this stuff. So thank you. That would be my participation. And we're going to the last part. I just want to say thank you to all of you. All of the things that you share here are amazing. I hope the audience find also our journeys amazing. I hope you guys, the speakers, find this an amazing space to share with others, like-minded people, in a space with no judgment, where everything is invited and everything is super interesting, because it's all about our experience. So thank you again for being part of it. And well, we have a last question for our guest. So Mario, would you like to do the question?
Yes, for sure. This is for you only, Fabian. Please share us this special question. Why working with Tantra?
Well, simply because Tantra is everything. Tantra is a way to connect with ourselves. Somebody says that's a philosophy, somebody says that it's a religion, somebody says a lot of things. But at the end, Tantra is like when if you say you work with the universe or you work with Tantra, because the Tantra get everything around. Tantra is asanas, is pranayamas, is breath work, is mantras, is shamanism, is ritualism, is yantras, is song, is art, is pleasure, is health, is everything is tantra. The things that I knew, you know, for by myself. And Tantra for me is a tool that connect the knowledge that I have, the energy that I have, and I am beginning to understand that I don't have to look outside for information or for experience or for health. That all that stuff is inside me, and when I'm working with myself, healing me, nourish me, evolution me, working my energy, then I can project me to outside. So I like to work with external stuff like hickory and medicines, rapé, ayahuasca. It's beautiful, but you have to get conscious that that information is external, and at the same time you can get that information from your internal. So everything is good in tantra. There's nothing bad, but the most important thing in tantra is to be conscious about the things that you do and the things that you project, in awareness, in conscious, and to be responsible about the things that you do for yourself or for others or for the world. So Tantra is a magic tool for me because it's everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Thank
beautiful.
you. And I would like to say something about the Joseph says about the discipline. The discipline is a very good tool, but discipline without effort. When you put effort in something, that is not for you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Well, to everyone, thank you for listening to us. That was a wrap for today's Wolves and Mermaids Mastermind, Erotic Intelligence, the Pleasure as Power Week. And today was our episode 2, from numbness to power, why you was why. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Annapurna. Now it's time to move, integrate, and execute. This wisdom means nothing without execution. So take what serves you from here and what you learn and apply it and watch the shift. Throw away what doesn't resonate with you. We're just getting started with this. So see you in the next episode, and we will start to go deeper and deeper. So keep ascending, keep rising, and keep weaving. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Let's continue growing.